Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at 303s, or more specifically plugins that emulate 303s and plugins that are available for free, most importantly, so you don't have to spend any of your hard-earned cash replicating that classic 303 sound. Obviously the 303 sound, otherwise known as the acid sound, is one of my favorite sounds. Probably use it in about 90% of my tracks in one way or another, whether it's in the background or up front. There will usually, and I mean literally 90% of the time, be a 303 sound in there of some sort, in some variety. So yeah, I use it a lot. Lots of different plugins do it. Not all plugins seem to be able to do it very well, I find, and there is actually a massive market for plugins that specifically aim to nail that classic sound. So some of those, like the Phoscyon for example, I think is really good for it. Or you could go, if you're more of a purist, you could go for something like the ABL Audio Realism Bassline 3, which I think is the most recent version they've got. But those are all paid plugins, so we're not going to be looking at those today. Today we're going to be looking at the free ones. So just a quick story on how this videos came to be. I was browsing the web, just looking for free VSTs, looking for something to kind of give me a bit of inspiration, and I came across this really great website called acidvoice.com. Now what acidvoice.com does, part of what it does, is it's taken a sample of an original TB-303 unit, and then they've done comparisons using the same kind of MIDI and the same settings as lots and lots and lots of different VSTs, free ones and paid ones, just so that you, the listener, can go onto this website and you can listen to the comparisons, and you can make an informed choice, I guess, about what you prefer, what sound you're looking for. So I would definitely recommend giving acidvoice.com a look if you get a chance, if you get curious, if you're interested in what some of the paid or more expensive VSTs can do, and if you're, especially if you're a purist and you're looking for that exact 303 kind of sound without spending all the money on an original Roland TB-303 unit. So what I did is I downloaded the free ones that are still available, because obviously this website looks, if you look at it, it looks like it's been around for a while. So there's lots of plugins that they have sampled which I couldn't find anymore. Maybe they do exist somewhere, maybe they don't. Maybe you guys have got installers you'd be happy to share with me for those plugins, but I was unable to find them available for free. And to be honest, if something's not available fairly easily, a plugin like that, then in my experience it's really not worth digging the deep dark web looking for those kind of things. So the 5 that I basically managed to find without any great deal, and obviously I'll share links for you guys too in the description, was BL303 by Yooz Music, Dolphin Bassline by Signaldust, NWBass by WWAYM, TN303 by Thomas Nomaier, I hope I've got that right if you're listening, and the Venom by Anton Savov. So just to kind of clarify, the point of this video is I'm not looking to replicate the sound of the unit that does the 303, the TB-303. I'm not that much of a purist, so I'm just looking to kind of find something or some plugins that do something that fulfills the same kind of purpose, fits the same, fits that piece of the puzzle, so to speak. Sounds good and can get that sound quickly. So it doesn't need to be an exact match. I'm not looking to replicate the same sound 5 exact times. I'm just looking for plugins that give me good results really fast. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, this is the FL project we're going to be using. So for the sake of comparison, I've made a version using the Transistor bass plugin, which comes with FL Studio if you get the all plugins version, or if you want to purchase it separately. Definitely worth the money. I've had it for a while now, and I can just say that I think it's a great option out there for the your 303 enthusiasts. So this is what I did. I've obviously got a kick, bass, and a percussion in the background. So I'm just gonna show you kind of what I did with this one. So this is the kind of the bass line, pun not intended, for these plugins to kind of look to match or sound better than. So there, you get the idea. That's what I came up with the transistor bass. That's mostly there, I would say. Obviously, if I was working on a track, I would need to fit that in amongst other elements. But for the purposes of this video, you know, that for me sounds good enough to use as your baseline, pun intended this time. So let's have a look at the other plugins and see what we can come up with. First one we will look at then will be the BL303 by Yooz Music. So let's have a play and see what we can come up with. Okay, so my first impressions on this are, so first of all, emphasis is definitely the new name for resonance on this. I think that's fairly straightforward. It sounds a bit thin. Even though it's obviously a mono synth, just the same as transistor bass was. The sound is definitely a lot more thin. Maybe that's just the EQ, because obviously it's using the exact same settings as the transistor bass was made with. So what we'll do is I will just have a play around now, see if I can make it sound better just by, you know, tweaking some EQs. You never know, it may do the job. I think it sounds, when you get the cutoff, when you ride the cutoff all the way to the top, I don't think it sounds as good as when the cutoff is lower. I feel like it kind of loses a lot of its body in the upper stages. So if I was to just mute these and give you an example, I think it sounds okay there, but then when you push it a bit, I think anything above that, it just doesn't really do much for me. But overall, I think it actually sounds pretty good. Square wave just isn't working for me. I tried it for a minute. I was like, okay, no. So definitely keep that stuck to saw. But overall, not bad. Absolutely not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna say that once again. Not bad. So let's move on now to the Dolphin. See what the Dolphin offers. Initial thoughts on this, it's probably sounds a lot more like the Audio Realism Bassline stuff, which is supposedly quite a faithful recreation of the original unit. So I think that for purists, this will be preferable to the BL303. I also feel like it's better. It's actually got a better sound to it. Not impressed with the cutoff that much at 0%. I think it gives you way too much. So, and that's at 0. I would like to have seen that kind of, you know, enable you to start lower to give you more cutoff to play with. But I do feel like as well in the top end it gives you more as well. So if you filter this up to like 60%. Okay, see if I can just EQ out that kind of lower end bit that's not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think I prefer this. I definitely think this is better than the BL303. I think it gives you a stronger sound. I think the cutoff is a bit more flexible. Not a great deal more options. Obviously, the BL303 has the option to switch your wave from saw to square, which is something the Dolphin doesn't have. But apart from that, it's pretty much exactly the same options in exactly the same order. It's like they just, you know, someone copied someone here. But yeah, I feel like the Dolphin is definitely winning for me at the moment. Oh, actually, you can switch to square. Okay, that's interesting. I think I actually preferred square wave on this one. Interesting, but yeah, definitely I still feel this one has a better sound, a better overall sound to it, a bit more flexible than the BL303. So let's move on now to the NWBass by I don't know if it's WWAYM or WWAYM. WWAYM. But let's see how we get on with this one. Okay, this resonance filter is on acid, pun intended. Yeah, that resonance filter, wow, okay, that's a bit much. Tone that down a bit to about 50%, or as close as I can get. There we go, 50%. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Interesting how everything's on 0, and yet as soon as you turn, look, everything, envelope, mod, decay, accent, slide, everything's on 0, but still as soon as you turn the cutoff up, it turns into one long note. Okay, so unlike the Dolphin on lower cutoff, well at 0, it sounds pretty rubbish. Almost like there's a gate on it. Sounds okay here. But then it gets pretty messy pretty quickly. Let me see if I can just tweak some of these options, get a better sound out of it. Okay, that's really weird. Like, even traditionally a resonance setting about 90% on other acid plugins will give you that really high pitched kind of acid screeching sound, but that's not happening here. Here, when I've got this set to 83 or 84, or let's just say 80s, when you crank the cutoff, you're not getting any of that high end. You're not getting that sound you want. You're just kind of left with the kind of bass and a bit of mid. I mean, the cutoff's at 184 hertz there, and it's already kind of going really mental. So when you crank it up, when you turn it up to where it should be, it's completely just killing the sound. So it seems quite, unless there's a setting here I'm not understanding and I'm not doing right, it seems very sensitive. So I'm just going to try switching the character. Try a square wave as well, actually. Maybe I'm cutting out too much low again. Let's give that back. Okay, I've got a feeling I might be distorting this a bit too much because I do have a wave shaper and a destructor on there. So I'm just going to tone back on some of the destructor mix, just tone back some of these settings, see if that maybe helps. It does a bit, but again, I still feel like the cutoff filter and the resonance, they're just a bit too sensitive. Yeah, this would be a very finicky, you would end up really kind of tweaking your automation to death almost, is how I feel this plugin would work for me. Doesn't sound bad at all, but do I have a patience to program it when the other two have kind of given me similar results way quicker, and they seem to be a lot more smoother as well. So I think that the other two are far better options, in my opinion, just from a quick play around. So we're going to move over to the next one, the TN303. We are going to see what we can get out of this. So let me just close these down. Let's go to the next one. Okay, in case you didn't notice, I really don't like the way these knobs work. It kind of doesn't just work on a kind of click and up, down all the time. It seems to change its mind. Sometimes it wants you to do this, like you're actually doing knob, which is just really frustrating because it doesn't allow you to be very accurate. And sometimes if I click it and just scroll the way down, I scrolled all the way up there and it went down. So works there, doesn't work there, and you know, it's just, yeah, it's not. The GUI just isn't as responsive as I would like it to be, so it's a bit of a pain to move all these knobs around, but it doesn't sound bad. So let's carry on and see what we get out of it. Something there I don't particularly like. I mean, it sounds really good in the top end, definitely. Yeah, I definitely feel the need to cut a bit more out of the low than the others by comparison, for some reason. This one definitely has the best cutoff filter. The range of that, you can kind of get a lot more out of the sound for me. The resonance at 100%, also it doesn't completely kill the sound like the previous plugin did, the NWBass. So yeah, I think this is a great contender. This is definitely between the Dolphin and this. I think the Dolphin, for me, if I remember rightly, sounds a bit better. Again, I'm not a purist, but it definitely kind of sounds a little bit more like how I would want it to. I think it's a bit better of a sound. But yeah, this one is a definite close second. Okay, so the last plugin on our list is the Anton Savov Venom. Now, in order to get this working with MIDI, you do need to jump through a few hoops, because the developer of this plugin is such a purist that he really wants you to use the step sequencer to use this plugin. So there is a number of hoops you need to kind of jump through in order to get this working. So not cool in my opinion, but it's his plugin, he can do as he likes. I'm just glad that he did add in the MIDI play option at all. So I'm just going to quickly let you guys know how you could get this working. So the first thing you need to do, I've just loaded the plugin here. This is default setting. I'm going to switch the right mode to MIDI play mode. And now it's going to give you this number, 5959. It would be a different number every time. And what you need to do is you need to subtract that number from 9999. So if I put in 9,999 minus 5959, that gives me 4040. So if I put in numbers here, you see there's little numbers at the bottom, 4. And then it only gives you one number at a time, so you need to check to click you've done it right. So 4, 0 is there, 4 again, and 0 is there. And now it says MIDI play OK to basically say I've unlocked the MIDI play feature. Next thing I'm going to do, it starts at 119 BPM, but if I'm going to flip this down to host sync. That then syncs to my host Fruity Loops or FL20 144. That's fine. Let's see if it wants to give us any noise. Nope, still doesn't want to give us any noise. So if I move the trigger all the way down to 1, now this should work. There we go. We have MIDI. So now we can crack on and try and get this sounding good. I don't know about you guys, but I think that sounds pretty goddamn amazing. And that's not even the best bit yet. The best bit is if you click the rear panel, it actually comes with its own distortion unit, which is something none of the others do. This distortion unit is even more flexible than the one you get on Transistor bass, because on that you basically get 4 knobs, whereas with this you get different types. So I think it's got about 10 different types of distortion, and each one has, you know, it's got different modes and there's different amounts that you can use just to kind of get the sound going into your mixer track, you know, being even better basically. So gonna have another play around, see what I can come up with. I think we have a late contender, a late smash and grab here. This really works for me. Everything works as I would expect it to. The cutoff filter is smooth, the resonance sounds good, the distortion options are a really great bonus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call it. This for me, this is the winner. It's just a bit of a shame about the additional hoops you have to jump through, because every time you reload this project, you're going to have to put those numbers in again. I know it only takes a second, but and it's a free plugin, so you can't really complain about it too much. If you paid good money and someone made you do that just to access the MIDI features, you would probably be a bit annoyed. But given that that's not the case, it's a free plugin. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is amazing. Like, I really like the sound of this. You know, in the time I've been playing with it, I've been able to get something that sounds kind of like the Audio Realism Bassline, but also something that sounds totally different just by tweaking the settings with the distortion. So yeah, no, I'm really impressed with that. For me, that's the winner of this little mini competition. But definitely, I would love to hear your own thoughts, your own feedback, comments if I missed something out. If there's a plugin that is better than any of these that's also free, I would absolutely love to know, because given how much time I spend working on 303s, and the temptation has been there to buy things like Phoscyon and ABL free recently, I'm not going to lie. So if there's something out there that I haven't included, please let me know. It'd be great to kind of take a look for myself and maybe update this video. But yeah, that's the results for me. Check these out. Check Venom out, definitely. Remember, you need to do that silly little thing with the 9999. But apart from that, it's a great little plugin. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and more content coming soon. So stick around, and I hope to see you again soon, guys. All right, take care. See you next time.